Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're delighted that you've taken the time out of your day to learn how integrating order information into your CRM system can help you sell more and build stronger customer relationships. If you have any questions during the webinar, please type them into the chat area there at the bottom of the webinar panel, and we'll address those questions at the end of the presentation. The webinar is scheduled for 30 minutes, so let's go ahead and get started. I'd like to introduce Gail Darling, our presenter today. Gail is the president of InfoSpectrum, and she's been helping companies become more competitive for over 25 years. She's a CRM evangelist who has worked with many manufacturers and distributors in CRM implementations, integrations, and consulting. Welcome, Gail.
Thank you, Abigail. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We are recording this webinar, and we'll be sending it out at the end of the presentations so you can share it with any of your colleagues who were not able to be here. It will also be posted on the resources page of our website. I'd like to start with just a short background on InfoSpectrum. We're a growing company here in New England. We have more than 20 years of experience. We've helped manufacturers, distributors, service companies, all kinds of companies across the country actually use technology to increase their market share. Our goal, simply stated, is to work collaboratively with you to improve your existing systems and to integrate them with customer relationship management. As Abigail said, I'm an evangelist for CRM. I believe that our customer success is our success. So over the years, we've done integrations with a number of different systems, including Access, Sage, Sightline, Macola, a bunch of systems. And for many years, we were partners with Exact Software, so we do have some special expertise in integrating Macola with customer relationship management systems, such as Sugar CRM and Goldmine. Customer relationship management systems are not just about acquiring new customers. It's not just about sales, even though many people think of it that way. I'm sure you all know that retaining your current customers and finding ways to sell them additional products is much, much less expensive than finding new ones. So today we're going to talk about how you can use order history to let salespeople, to let your customer service staff sell more to your existing customers. But also we'll talk about automatic workflow as a way of making you more productive and alerting you to problems that otherwise you might not be aware of. And we'll talk about how to use real-time information to answer questions, maybe questions about quotes or orders, but to answer those questions faster and build stronger customer relationships. Before we get started, though, I want to remind us that a complete CRM solution is about more than just sales. We have marketing and sales and customer support that are equally important. All of those touch points give you an opportunity to build that customer relationship and to create customer loyalty. So our first topic today is going to be order history. We're going to look at how we can integrate order entry data with CRM to provide better information for our customers and for our salespeople. It's interesting, we've been working with manufacturers and distributors and service companies for many, many years now, and we find that more often than not, salespeople lack easy access to a customer's current buying profile. And by that I mean what they've bought recently, what they bought this year, what they bought last year, what they're not buying. And it's not that that data doesn't exist, because inside your enterprise resource planning system, your ERP system, or your accounting system, is data about orders and invoices. It's all there. But it's really hard to turn that data into usable information so that you can quickly understand what the customer is buying, or not buying, as the case may be. So the challenge is that too often you just don't have that information that you need at your fingertips. So whether the customer is calling in to place an order or just to ask a question, you have an opportunity to engage them beyond the specific issue that made them call. So with the right information in front of you, you can see warning signs. You can see signs that sales are dropping off. You can see credit problems. You can see slow payments. But you can also see opportunities. You can see opportunities for cross-selling and for upselling. And when you offer a customer a product that they need but they didn't know that you carried, you're building that relationship. You're making them glad they called you. So let's look at some concrete examples here from Sugar CRM and from Goldmine that show you possible solutions to that problem, to those problems. Here at the top of the screen, you've got your basic account information. And Sugar CRM, like most CRM systems, lets you add other kinds of fields so that you can customize this for what you need. And you can create multiple tabs so that you really can have a tremendous amount of user information, customer information available at just one click. But what if you could get a summary of their buying activity right there on that main screen? So in our example here, we've created this sales panel, and we've put on it all the products that this customer purchased for the last 2 years. Again, this is totally configurable, but we have the basics. We've got the item number, we have the description, year-to-date sales information, prior year sales information, and date of the last sale for this product. So if year-to-date sales are really slower than last year's sales, you can see right away while you're on the screen with a customer that there's trouble, or that potentially there's trouble. And you can ask, is the customer unhappy? Is it your fault? Is the customer unhappy with your delivery dates? Maybe the last shipment you sent them was late. Maybe they're not satisfied with the quality of whatever it was they purchased. Maybe they think your price isn't competitive. You can find out if they're trying another supplier. Or maybe it's something as simple as they've discontinued one of their products, they don't need your materials. But here's your chance to take action before that customer walks. So ask yourself, how much would you be losing annually if you lose this customer? Is it $5,000 or is it $50,000? So it's an opportunity also to sell them something they're not buying now, because you see right here in front of you what they have been buying. Maybe there's something they purchased in the past and you now have an enhanced version of it that you can tell them about. Or maybe they buy test equipment from you, but you see that they're not buying the refill kits. Whatever that situation might be, by having this information in front of you while you're on the phone with a customer, you have a huge leg up. And as I'm sure you all know, it's very hard to reach people by phone, by email these days. The customer calls you, you have an opportunity to take some action. So in particular, Sugar CRM makes this kind of integration really easy by letting you create entirely new modules. So for instance, we've created this item sales detail, and I can put anything in here I want. So I've put in some information here about year-to-date and prior year sales, but I've also put some information about quantity on hand and on order and available quantity right now. So while you're talking to the customer, you can tell them, there's plenty of this, feel free to place your order today or tomorrow, we have lots. The other thing about this approach is that it does not require an ERP license. Many salespeople find it difficult to go into the ERP system and click through a bunch of screens to get to this kind of data. By presenting it right here where they're on a screen about a customer, you've made it easy for them. Here's just another example of information that's been presented in slightly different form. So here's sales at a glance, and quantity available. Again, you can choose what you want, and you can update it nightly or you can update it more often. Okay. Another thing that Sugar makes it really easy for you to do, since we're looking at Sugar here, is that it makes it possible for you to filter these sales results. So now that you've got them in here, maybe you want to see, for instance, year-to-date sales that are less than $3,000, or last sale date after a particular date. So the salesperson, without the help of without needing to run reports, without having to ask IT, can get some quick answers while they're looking at their customers about people that need attention. We'll show you another example here. This example is from Goldmine. This is a customer who not only wanted to bring in year-to-date stuff, but they wanted to see trends. So they've got data going back 6 years here. And they have done some automatic classifications so that they can tell whether this customer is under target, above target. And what that lets them do is it lets them contact their most important customers and not waste time sifting through thousands of customers who are not contributing to the bottom line. Again, this kind of information can be brought in on a periodic basis. Obviously, if it's year-to-date sales, you probably are happy bringing it in once a day, but other information you may want to bring in more frequently. Workflow is the way in which you can increase productivity. Now that you have sales information inside your CRM, you don't have to wait for a customer to call to be able to take some actions. So this is a simple example where, depending on how much sales are down, whether they're down 10%, 20%, more than 20%, then you can ask, well, how much do they buy? Are they a small customer? Maybe we won't worry about that. If they're a medium-sized customer, maybe we'll send them an email with a promotion, an offer. If they're down a lot, then that's a case where you will want to be probably scheduling a call for your sales rep. So this is a way to also use order information, sales information from your ERP or accounting system to make your sales reps more productive. So this is just a quick example of setting up a year-to-date sales warning. You create some conditions. Here's a flag that's gotten automatically set when there's a problem. And then you can send alerts and set actions. And those actions can be to send messages, to schedule calls, and actually you can change fields or create entirely new records. So it's very powerful. Being able to use workflow is very powerful. Selling more to your customers is only part of the picture. Providing excellent customer service on an ongoing basis is really vital to keeping those customers. Part of that service, of course, is giving fast answers to questions. But depending on the business you're in, the kind of questions that you want to ask or that you're getting asked will differ. So the challenge is you've got the customer on the phone, and right now you need to click through a whole bunch of things or put them on hold in order to answer their questions. But it doesn't have to be that way. By putting this information, the CRM information, right in front of the customer service people, the sales people, they can answer questions quickly. So up until now, we've been looking at bringing sales information in periodically. But an awful lot of questions are real-time questions. Has my order shipped? So this is an example of how you can bring real-time information into your CRM system. This is inside of Sugar, this one. And you can have entirely customizable columns here about what information you want to bring in from the order header, as well as whatever information you might want to bring in from the order detail. So you can answer questions that say, no, the order has not shipped. If you've put ship dates in your ERP system, you can tell them when the expected ship date is. And typically, people use this kind of real-time information to see information not only about orders, but also about quotes, about RMAs, return material authorizations, about samples that they've requested. Has my sample shipped? I haven't received it. So that kind of information can be made available in real time, even in a cloud-based system. Here's an example of information, real-time information available in Goldmine. This was kind of interesting, actually. This was one of our customers who used to have to run a crystal report to find out what they've charged the customer in the past for certain items. So while the customer's on the phone, they had to wait while the sales rep switched to another screen, brought up crystal reports, typed in the customer's customer number in order to answer the question. Now, it's one click. They click to this tab, and lo and behold, there is all the pricing information for everything the customers bought in, I don't know, the last 2 years, I think, is what they wanted. But again, it's customizable. So whatever the information that's important to you, that's the information that can be pulled in. Here's another example of people that wanted to answer invoice details. They wanted invoice header information and invoice detail line information available. So in this case, they can ask, when did this ship, what the line number was, and so forth. There's really no need anymore for customer service to click through a whole bunch of screens in order to answer those kind of questions. But it's not just for sales and customer service. You can bring in accounts receivable information, which can be beneficial to all kinds of people. So, for instance, you can see that this customer is on credit hold, and perhaps you don't want to take an order on the phone for them. You can see whether they are payments are like over 90 days, whether they're not current anymore. You can see when the last time you received a check from them was. Whatever information that's important for you can be brought in. And in particular, when you bring in this kind of AR information, your collections people don't have to do a whole lot of manual work, because you can use workflow to automatically send them an email reminder that they're overdue, or if they're badly overdue, schedule a call for the collection person. So as you can see, the possibilities here are really open-ended. It's really up to you to imagine what it is that could make your business better, could make your business more competitive, and take it from there. So to wrap things up, I would just like to remind us that customer relationship management is not a piece of software. It's a business strategy that is really critical to company success. If you are serious about boosting sales and improving customer relationships, you need to focus not only on the software, but also on the people, on the process, and on the information that you need to have available to people. CRM is a company-wide initiative. It starts with a commitment from the top, from the CEO, and everyone inside the company, not only the people who are customer-facing, but all the people in the company have to get the message that the customer comes first. That means that you will undoubtedly need to rethink some business processes, and in the course of doing that, keeping the customer first, you'll find that you probably are making your personnel your staff more efficient as well. And of course, thinking about the information that needs to be available to people, this is where the technology part comes in. And once you've gone through those steps of thinking about CRM as a business strategy, then you're well on the way to improving your customer relationships. So here's a little self-test. I'm going to actually read some of these. But are you providing your sales and customer service people with the information they need to answer questions quickly? Can they conclude a phone conversation and leave the caller satisfied that they've gotten the answers they need? Can your sales and customer service people quickly see whether that customer is lagging in sales this year versus last year? Can you help customers while they're on the phone can you provide excellent customer service and build stronger customer relationships with every call? So those are the questions that you need to be asking, and this is actually where we can help. We have more than 20 years of experience working with companies to improve customer relationships by integrating this kind of information and helping them to have happier, loyal customers, more productive employees, increased sales. So we'd love to put that expertise to work for you. Thank you for joining us. If you have not already entered your questions into the chat panel, please go ahead and do so. And if you have any questions later on, I've put my contact information up here. I'd be very happy to talk with you. Abigail, do we have any questions?
Yes, thank you, Gail. That was a very informative presentation, and we do have a few questions from the attendees. I'll start with this one. We're using QuoteWorks for quoting. Can we bring that information into Sugar as well?
Absolutely. The tools that we have available to do these integrations can do integrations not only from ERP systems, but really from any of those systems that you may have around. So certainly you can bring information in from QuoteWorks. We've had people bring information from Access databases that they've set up to do particular things. It's pretty much anything that you can run a crystal report against, we can bring into a CRM system, into Goldmine or into Sugar CRM. Did that answer the question?
I believe so, yes. Thank you for that. It looks like that's the last question that we have right now. Thank you to everyone who joined us today. We did record this session, as Gail mentioned earlier, and we'll send an email with the link to this recording. If you have any other questions or comments, feel free to get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you. I'm going to go ahead and end this presentation now so we can all get back to work. Thank you again.